I just realized I need to make an intro if I'm going to post these full moon pick a question readings, which I don't know if I'm going to post this or not. But if I'm going to post it, I need to explain what's going on here. So, my name is Scarlett, and I've been studying astrology for almost 6 years now, I think. I started in 2017. It was a really big year, and I've just been obsessed with it ever since. And I'm pretty insecure with not being certified, but I'm pretty confident that, I don't know, not permanently confident, but most of the time I feel pretty good about my array of knowledge, and I'm at the point now where I want to start talking more about it. But I also have an avid interest in the tarot. I've been studying the tarot for a lot longer than astrology. So I think the tarot and astrology go together beautifully. Keep forgetting to look at the camera. Sorry. Astrology and the tarot, for whatever reason, in my experience, they go together amazingly. When I do forecasts, sometimes I will incorporate specific card pulls for aspects or transits, and I thought it would be fun to have an astrology channel, but also do these. They're my variation of pick a card readings that used to be a big thing a few years ago. People still do them, and they're really great. I have watched very many pick a card readings, and the insights that can come through are amazing. I don't know if I will be that good, honestly, but I created my own variation where I call it pick a question, and basically what it is I'm going to be basing it around transits or around the full moon, maybe even the new moon. And based on the themes that I see coming up for certain transits, I will come up with specific questions. It's going to be 4 questions, and those will be the groups. Let's see if I can explain this clearly. So I will write down 4 questions, and whoever is feeling compelled to see an answer to the questions, they can pick the question that they want read, and I will do the reading. So that's basically what this is. Whether or not it makes sense, I don't know. It's just something I'm going to try. And thank you for watching. I gotta look at the camera better. Thanks for watching, and I will now get started. This has been an intro. Okay, so I've just gotten into what this full moon means, kind of, to me. It's my interpretation. Yes, so I'm gonna get into the readings. I chose these questions based on the themes of the full moon and what might come up during the full moon. So there's 4 questions, and the first one is what I've shuffled for, and it is what could potentially is the key word. I do not see myself as an arbiter of truth in this regard. It's just certain things that could possibly align, but they don't have to. So question 1 for group 1, if you chose this question, it is what could potentially be my true calling in this life. So let's see what comes up. We got 5 of Swords reversed, which is a general recovery from feeling helpless, hopeless, defenseless. So perhaps your true calling revolves around those themes somehow, we will keep pulling. It's too early to really interpret too strongly. Then we have 9 of Pentacles, which is about self-worth, self-esteem. So perhaps you are facing the breaking down of your self-worth often in life, and that process of building it back up somehow contributes to where you're supposed to be going. Also, maybe part of your path is helping those with poor self-esteem who need to be built up again after disempowering experiences. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles reversed, which is a refreshing lack of perfectionism, because upright, the 8 of Pentacles is about perfecting, being obsessed with tiny details, really being stuck in a cycle of nothing being good enough. So definitely something about self-esteem and reinvigorating it, changing it, nourishing it, helping it be not debilitating. Then we have Page of Cups. I definitely believe that there is some assistance that can be provided to people who maybe are younger than you, or people who really, like I said, struggle with esteem issues, who really need to be encouraged and motivated to accept themselves. Then we got the World. Ooh, that's a nice one. The World is about big things, because the world is huge. But having it under the 5 of Swords reversed, which is about recovering from feelings of powerlessness, perhaps there's something there about feeling confident to take on the world in the end, as a result of reversing this, which I think I've said. Upright, this card is about really disempowering experiences and somebody coming along and making others feel weaker or less than. Pretty cool. Then we got the Devil reversed, which is underneath the 9 of Pentacles. So seriously liberating either yourself or others from, you could say, personal demons. The devil, obviously, I don't take it in a religious sense. It's a symbol. Everything in the tarot is a symbol. It's an archetype, and the devil, to me, is simply the things that we feel the most darkly bonded to. So you could take this, in my opinion, as literally the demons within the psyche, within psychology. So maybe there's something there about counseling people away and out of the darkness. Then we got the Hierophant reversed. Ooh, that's really cool. Again, the freedom from perfectionism. The Hierophant reversed is about not having to do things the way everybody expects them to be done, not having to have a linear base of knowledge to be able to be something pleasantly unexpected. It's really about forging the path forward through personal experience versus experience and knowledge handed from on high, because upright, the Hierophant is about things handed down from on high, like the institutions of official knowledge and education, that kind of stuff. That's really cool. Then we have the Ten of Swords reversed, helping people get unstuck. For real, that's really beautiful. This to me represents vulnerable people. The Page of Cups is, it often symbolizes a child, but to me it's like the pure-hearted capability of people when they're vulnerable. So I really think there's something there, and it's tied directly to personal setbacks in self-worth. So that's what I got for your reading, Group 1. Hopefully it resonated. If not, I'm very sorry. And I will be moving on to the next group. Thank you very much. Alright, so this reading is for whoever it is out there that chose question 2, which is, what avenues should I approach for self-improvement? So by self-improvement, I don't mean improvement of the self in a judgmental way, or improvement of the self from the perspective of not being good enough. I really just mean self-improvement done in a way that is loving and in tune with the truth that we all hold at our core. Nobody is meant to pursue the exact path of another person. The individual, in my opinion, exists for a reason, and it's very valuable to have individual experience, but there are times in life where we get in our own way and we have trouble growing into our potential. So that's why I wanted to ask and try to answer this question for whoever chooses it. Got one more candle to light. I gotta have candles when I read, I don't know. Alright, let's go. So for group 2, the first card we got is Ten of Swords. Ooh, letting the past be in the past. The Ten of Swords represents a difficult but necessary ending. It is the result of trying to keep up a certain path or objective that has been outgrown and no longer contributes to a brighter future. That is essentially the Ten of Swords. It's a very fatigued energy, the energy of just being wiped out, worn out, exhausted. So part of your self-improvement, group 2, is to just let go of something that has already ended, potentially. Then we have Nine of Wands reversed. Again, this is kind of the energy of surrender. The Nine of Wands upright represents almost there energy. It's basically being on the precipice of finishing something, but reversed kind of shows a need to just hunker down and surrender to the way things are meant to be versus holding on, clinging to a desired outcome. Then we have Ten of Cups, which is the fulfillment of the emotions. It's finding that true spark, but with cups, to me, that always represents relationships, finding fulfillment in family, finding fulfillment in the home somehow. So maybe the answer to fulfillment is closer than it would be if your focus is all the way out here. Maybe the answer to fulfillment is right in front of your face, so to speak. That's possible. It's always possible. Then we got Ace of Cups. Opening the heart, opening the emotions, being more available emotionally, being more vulnerable, less forceful with the idea of how something needs to go. The Ace of Cups is very accepting, very flowy and nurturing. So they're also indicating that there's a new emotional path for you to go down, and it really closely relates to fulfillment, wish fulfillment, which is another 10 of Cups theme. My neighborhood has some kind of loud cars going by, sorry. Then we have 10 of Wands. This is a great sense of burden. Again, they're alluding to needing to let go of something that ended a while ago, something that's been heavy and dragging and just not conducive to having clear energy as a soul. If that makes sense, it kind of sounds weird, but just anything that is slowing down the pursuit of happiness needs to be released. Then we have the Two of Swords reversed underneath the Nine of Wands reversed. So this is something that needs to be acknowledged, something that needs to be seen, and it's already at your door, so to speak. Something is right in front of you that is ready to be acknowledged, and I think it relates to either family or just deeper relationships in general. There's just something that is calling for attention, and the Two of Swords upright represents feeling safe and protected, but also it represents a blindness. You can't see what's there. And when it comes up reversed, I always see it as just needing to shake out of closed eyes, having a closed perspective somehow. Then we got the Six of Cups. So for sure, some sort of sentimental connection to somebody else is ready to be either initiated or explored, or just more lovingly understood. It's underneath this 10 of Cups, which is very relationships based. I think that's a really beautiful energy here. Last card, we have the Eight of Swords underneath the Ace of Cups, of initiating a new emotional pathway or opening a new emotional doorway. The key to liberation is through the feels at this time. I think that's what they're trying to say. So refusing to reject the emotional side, I think, is potentially the key to feeling more enlivened and invigorated. So it's a quick reading, but I think that's fine. I don't need to ramble that much more. But hopefully this makes sense. If not, I'm greatly sorry, but thank you so much for watching, and I will move on to the next reading now. Really quick, I was editing the video and I was super excited because I had finished filming and everything was done. And when I was editing to get ready to post it, I saw that the audio is completely out of alignment with the video. And I just wanted to apologize. Those are some quality issues. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Thank you for watching anyway. Okay, so we are officially under the full moon now, the full moon in Leo. I started this video yesterday and I did not think I was going to be actually posting it. But this is the reading for group 3. Whoever chose the question, what do I need to know about fulfilling my life mission? I put need to know in quotes because I do not see myself as an arbiter of truth. It's merely suggestion from a spiritual standpoint, and if it resonates, then that's cool, it was helpful. But if it doesn't resonate, then there does not need to be any seriousness around it necessarily. So I'm just gonna light some candles, as I am wont to do for these. Gonna get into the reading. So for card 1, as an answer to what you should know about your life mission, we have the Emperor reversed. Wow. So this represents needing to step into an authority role, or needing to understand the command that you have over your own life, or even over other people in some circumstances. The Emperor reversed is almost totally unaware of the power that he possesses, and there is a lot of insecurity and uncertainty about how to make things more concrete, tangible, and understandable. Then we got Judgment. So this is interesting. It's almost like there is some sort of wake-up call that's either happening now or needs to happen. And again, it relates to this sense of authority, discipline. I want to use the word command because that's what keeps playing in my head. Just this need to really understand your own strength. And it's perfect because for the full moon we have Saturn, which I always see as related to the Emperor, even though the Emperor is ruled by Aries. Saturn is opposing the moon, and that basically can bring up a lot of questions around authority. So that's interesting. Then we got Page of Cups. So this is making me think that even though this is potentially a time to recognize authority and personal governance, there's also a message to not lose the purity of heart along the way, because the Page of Cups is about pure intention, living from the heart, really being spontaneous and playful and fun. So it definitely feels like whoever chose this particular question is trying to balance a more pragmatic expectation of results with a sense of, okay, we can be playful and everything's going to be okay. And that is quite a quandary. If I said it clearly, I really don't know, but hopefully it comes across. Then we got King of Wands. So there really needs to be confidence around creativity and confidence around vision. The King of Wands kind of feels like what is needed, what element is needed in the situation. And the King of Wands is almost cocky, but his confidence is infectious. And comparing it with the Page of Cups, it seems like there's some sort of creative endeavor that can only succeed if this wake-up call is realized around strength and authority, and I will say it again, command. Next row, we got the King of Pentacles reversed. Ooh, this is interesting. And it's underneath the Emperor. So there's some sort of material rearranging of resources that needs to happen. The King of Pentacles rules over the material world. He has a connection to money and wealth and just general abundance. So it just feels like the way that the cards are suggesting your need to be more authoritative is connected to those material things somehow. Perhaps you've been having a hard time financially, or just feeling a low sense of self-worth around money. I feel like under the full moon, or just in general, these themes are being rearranged somehow, and that's what Judgment is about. Judgment is like waking up from really old patterns, paradigms, and realizations. It's very powerful, and it looks kind of promising that things can start getting more flexible at some point in the near future. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So I want to say that you're meant to be working at something that's creative, because it's really aligning that way. We got the Page of Cups and the King of Wands, which are very creatively focused. But then you have these money cards of the King of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles represents perfecting something. It represents establishing a personal status quo where you don't let things fall by the wayside or fall apart. It's very practical, and it's just a very perfectionistic card. And it's underneath Judgment, so there is something that you're working to perfect potentially. Man, you got another money card. We got Ace of Pentacles underneath the Page of Cups. So there's sort of a message that things are going to become, like I said, more flexible, more easy to inhabit, and it revolves around the material world. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a creative opportunity that is waiting to be realized, but what's getting in the way is this Saturnian energy of feeling unsure, uncertain, just insecure in general, really. Last card, we got the Six of Wands reversed. If you're in hiding, so to speak, I'm saying this in a very mild way, not like you're in witness protection or anything, but if you are dimming yourself for fear or through self-sabotage, the cards are saying that it's time to kind of be more upfront, more cocky, more self-assured. Yeah, it's a pretty cool reading. I think there are some potentially awesome creative pathways opening up for you. And I think that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'm ready to do the next reading now. Have a good one. Okay, hello, group 4, question 4. This is your reading for the full moon in Leo, which, as I keep saying, is a big one for our authentic purpose in life. What is it that we need to pursue that doesn't compromise who we are, basically? So your question that you were drawn to for whatever reason, thank you for being here. The question is, how can I better serve humanity? So let's just get started. And this was along the vein of, what gifts do you need to recognize that you have to offer the world? Let us see. All right, so card 1, you have 4 of Cups. And the deck that I'm using, I didn't even say what decks I was using for all the other readings, but for your reading, I'm using the, the 5 cent tarot. And I like it because it has keywords, which can make it easier. But 4 of Cups, it says contemplation and apathy, as well as disillusion. So what this is telling me is that you have the gift of realism to some extent. You're able to think deeply and ponder before making impulsive decisions. I sense that this group isn't particularly rushed or impulsive or sudden in their movements. I think it's possible that you have a calming effect on others. Then we have 2 of Cups reversed, and it says distrust, imbalance, and tension. So it's possible that people come to you with their relationship problems. Maybe you listen empathetically to people who complain and are just generally unhappy with their social life. That's kind of what this card is telling me. And they're 2 cup cards, which represent the emotions and the deeper layers of our psyche. Then we have King of Swords. So again, you have a very clear and decisive mind. The King of Swords rules over logic and intellect and is very strategic and careful in his choice of words. I feel like you have a lot of tact and you're able to help people see truth in some way that they wouldn't see if they're overly emotional. Followed by the 10 of Wands reversed. And that is representing the release of burdens. So you really help people to feel unburdened from their issues. And I feel like that can get tiresome for you or even boring sometimes to some extent. It is kind of rough to sometimes be the person who listens. I think we've all experienced that to some degree. But it just feels like a lot of people come to you and you help them relieve emotional burdens or stress, which is really a huge gift to give to the world, even if it's not realized. Then we have Justice, cause and effect, and it's underneath the 4 of Cups. So this feels like maybe you need to recognize the value of your ability to get to the truth, and perhaps you are hesitating in seeing why that's powerful. Justice is also an energy that carries out the balancing of extremes. So I feel like if you wanted to, you could be a big help in the sense of seeing an imbalance and seeing how to actually balance it out and then carrying that through. Then we have Page of Cups reversed, immaturity, envy, and irresponsibility. So those who are kind of immature sounds mean, but those who are kind of floundering and in need of assistance can come to you. This is kind of making me think that these are the kinds of people that you can help. People that have really challenging emotional landscapes, really dark relationship ties. I feel like you could really be of assistance to them somehow. Then we have the 7 of Cups underneath the King of Swords, who to me could represent you being a person of trust and rationale and really delivering a more detached perspective that's valuable. But having the Seven of Cups underneath it, it makes me feel like you help people see the options. Like people who feel like there's no way out, or there's no way to be able to cope or be able to fix a situation. I feel like you could help them actually come to a conclusion. So that's really awesome. Then we got the Hanged Man, which it says perspective, letting go, pause, and sacrifice. So I really think you are possibly willing to, again, take burdens off of people, but you have to potentially, because I don't know if any of this is accurate, you have to potentially make sure you're not taking on too much, which is a very common theme in life. When we want to help out, it's too easy to take on too much and get really burnt out, and then have to be slowed down ourselves, which is what the Hanged Man represents. The Hanged Man is kind of a forced pause to some extent. And I think it's just kind of a reminder to not dismiss the importance of boundaries. But yeah, I think that is everything. These are quick readings. I hope it resonates. If it doesn't, I'm greatly sorry, and I always say that, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you have as pleasant of a full moon as can be, and I will be back with another video later-ish, maybe. All right, bye.